Once upon a time, in a village where the houses had chimneys that puffed golden smoke, lived a curious girl named Myra. Myra loved exploring, and she always wondered what lay beyond the hills. At night, she would stare at the stars and imagine worlds full of magic and adventure. One evening, she noticed a faint glowing light flickering at the edge of the forest. It wasn't like a firefly or a lantern from the village. It pulsed like it was alive. Myra's heart raced, half excitement, half fear. She whispered to herself, "I have to see what that is." Myra stepped into the forest. The trees were tall, their branches forming twisting arches above her head. Shadows danced on the ground with the flickering of the glowing light. Every rustle made her jump, but she pressed on, drawn toward the light. Then she heard a soft voice whisper, "Follow, but be brave." It wasn't scary, but it sent chills down her spine. The deeper she went, the forest became magical. Strange glowing flowers lit the path, and tiny creatures peeked from behind the ferns. They didn't speak, but they watched her curiously, as if testing her courage. Finally, Myra reached a clearing. In the center floated a lantern, glowing with shifting colors, gold, blue, purple, pink, like a rainbow trapped in light. It hovered slowly above the ground, spinning gently. "Hello, Myra," the lantern said in a soft, musical voice. Myra gasped, You can talk." "I am the guardian of lost dreams," the lantern replied. "Those who are brave enough to find me will see the unseen, but beware, not all magic is kind." Myra's heart thumped, thrill and curiosity swirling together. Suddenly, the lantern flickered wildly and shot a beam into the forest. A pathway opened. Stepping stones floated over a sparkling lake. Myra had to cross carefully. One misstep, and she could fall into the shimmering, magical water. With each step, the stones glowed brighter. She heard whispers encouraging her. Shadows seemed to shift, guiding her. Halfway across, a mischievous water sprite appeared, playful, tricky, trying to make the stones disappear. Myra took a deep breath, remembered the lantern's words, and leapt to the next stone. Her heart pounded, but she didn't stop. At the end of the path, Myra arrived at a hidden kingdom floating above the clouds. Castles made of crystal glimmered in the moonlight, waterfalls sparkled like liquid starlight, and gardens bloomed with flowers that sang when the wind passed through them. The lantern hovered above the main courtyard. "Welcome, Myra," it said. "This is the kingdom of dreams, where the impossible becomes real." Myra's eyes widened. She could hear laughter of unseen creatures, smell the sweet air of magical flowers, feel the warmth of glowing light on her face. But the kingdom was not empty. A door appeared in the sky, floating on a silver cloud. A riddle glowed in letters of gold. "Only the one who believes in kindness and courage may step through and unlock the heart of the kingdom." Myra thought carefully, remembered the water sprite, the forest creatures, how she had followed her heart even when she was scared. She whispered softly, "Kindness, courage, I believe in both." The door opened slowly with a soft chime and a gentle breeze. Inside, a garden floated on a cloud, flowers glimmered like stars, and the petals sang softly as the wind passed. A fountain sparkled in the center, glowing with rainbow light. The lantern hovered beside it. "Hear, Myra," it said, "every dream. Every wish becomes brighter when courage and kindness guide it." Myra smiled. She touched the fountain gently and wished, not for treasures, not for herself, but for everyone she loved. The garden shimmered, and a gentle warmth spread through the kingdom. The lantern floated beside her, guiding her back to the forest path. The floating stones returned to the lake. The water sprite waved goodbye. The tiny forest creatures disappeared into the shadows. Myra stepped back into her village, the glowing lantern fading above the trees. She looked at the stars and whispered, "Magic is real and courage can light the way." From that day on, Myra remembered the kingdom and the magical lantern. She learned that being brave was not about being fearless, but about being kind and trusting yourself. And sometimes, the smallest steps can take you to the most magical places.